Hey guys, welcome back to Meza Online. Today we are heavily judging something that Pinterest loves even more than mason jars: diet plans. Specifically those flat belly, fast weight loss, I'm a speck of dust weight loss plans. But this isn't just about food. This is about the way that the internet sells wellness as a vibe. So grab a snack, a proper one, and let's get into it. This absolute masterpiece is titled 1200 Calorie Meal Plan Fast Weight Loss. The fast weight loss is really doing the heavy lifting here, like more lifting than I do on a pull day. So breakfast is 300 calories, lunch is 400 calories, dinner is another 400 calories. So this is only coming to 1100 calories for an entire day. Adding up the protein, it looks like it's only coming to around 80 grams, 90 grams of carbs, and around 50 grams of fat. Look, on paper, this looks great. It looks balanced and they're good foods. But for anybody who's actually trying to be healthier, gain muscle, lose fat, this isn't enough protein or calories. This is well below the basal metabolic rate of most adults. I mean, the average woman burns around 1500 calories just to simply exist. The average man burns around 1700. But that doesn't include walking, going to work, going to the gym. So the internet is going to try and feed you 1000 calories, and that isn't even enough to blink. Your metabolism is literally going to be suiting up, ready to come and sit in your office and ask you for a raise. Look, I'm not saying that a calorie deficit in itself doesn't work, because it does, and that isn't controversial. But the internet is confusing a deficit with eating as little as humanly possible. And anyone who has accidentally fallen into the trap of yo-yo dieting knows that that is not sustainable. An active person burns between 2200 and 3000 calories a day. So a real calorie deficit is only going to sit like 300 calories below that, not below the amount that you literally need to function as a human being. Unless you want to start hallucinating in aisle 5 of Tesco's. But if I'm honest, that would probably make shopping for rice cakes more interesting. But what Pinterest is doing, it isn't just selling you food. It's selling you this cutesy lifestyle. It's selling you the vibes. It's this really cute layout with the pretty colours and the pretty font and these really perfectly plated meals that look beautiful, but usually right next to them is a picture of a really flat stomach. The narrative they're creating is that if the food looks pretty, then the diet must be healthy. And if there's a flat stomach in the picture, then that's obviously how you're gonna look if you eat like that. They are not guaranteed results. And the problem is that a lot of people probably think that they are. This isn't just on Pinterest though, this is internet wide. This is that girl routines and what I eat in a day videos on TikTok that start with a very obvious body checking shot. This is wellness marketed visually, not scientifically. Essentially, they're saying eat like a Victorian child but make it aesthetic. And somehow people are still applauding this logic. One day flat belly meal plan, real food. Not to be confused with hologram food or that plastic food that kids play with. Breakfast is 280 calories, lunch is 350, a snack is 150, and dinner is 420. Conveniently, this plan adds up to exactly 1200 calories, which is the golden number when it comes to online dieting, which is apparently more important than actual nutrition. At this point, 1200 calories has become the poster child for internet starvation culture, yet 2014 called it wants its eating disorder back. To make this fit into the 1200 calorie box, it's coming in at just 78 grams of protein for the entire day. To actually gain muscle and lose fat, the average person needs up to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So a 60 kilogram person needs over 96 grams of protein per day, and this plan falls short. The problem is they sell these like they're a one-size-fits-all solution, and no one person is the same. Everybody needs to eat differently based on their gender, their height, their weight, their activity level, and what their actual goals are. But for me, one of the worst things about this is the label of real food. The internet loves words like this: real, clean, detox. These sound really health and wellnessy, but what they actually do is just make eating normally feel wrong or dirty. Pinterest basically says eat food, but only if it adds up to a really nice round number. No matter what, even though the food looks balanced, the calories are too low for it to even matter. The protein's too low, so you're not going to gain muscle, which isn't going to aid in your long-term metabolism, and you're just going to be hungry. The fat is too low, which for women is going to disrupt your hormones. The carbs are too low, so your mood is going to crash and your energy is going to tank, aka you're going to be hungry. The internet simplifies nutrition into this really clickable narrative of eat this, get abs, or more like don't eat, get abs. The reality of losing weight is so boring that nobody would be able to get clicks from it. But these kinds of aesthetics and shortcuts posts, they do sell, they do get clicks. However, the side effect of that is that they've got millions of people sat over a plate of cucumber sticks crying and Googling, why am I tired all the time? They'll shove it next to a cropped down picture of a really flat stomach, wrapped up in this pastel package of toxic perfectionism. And then when you don't immediately look like that, you blame yourself. When people turn to these crash diets, they immediately blame themselves when it doesn't work. And that's why they call it yo-yo dieting, because you'll immediately stop, and then you'll be upset about it, and then you'll start again, and then you'll stop, and then you'll start again, and it is a never-ending cycle of sadness. But the harm of that is invisible at the start. It's so subtle, but it is absolutely everywhere. Pinterest wants you to be well fed enough for a pretty picture, but not well fed enough to function. So glorified starvation. You can be in a real calorie deficit without following some kind of aesthetic diet plan that you find on the internet. Real nutrition is about biology, listening to your own body, and sustainability. And you are allowed to eat food that doesn't add up to a magical number that was plucked off a tree in the 90s. Pinterest is not evil. I love Pinterest, and it is brilliant at marketing, especially to those who are actively seeking influence, which when people are really struggling and they genuinely want to lose weight, this is where they're going to turn to. And if this is what they're going to see over and over again regurgitated in loads of different pretty infographics, why wouldn't they believe it's true? Please don't let Pinterest let you think that quinoa and dizziness is a lifestyle. Unfollow those accounts that are making you feel guilty for existing comfortably. If you enjoyed this, please do like and subscribe, because this is just the beginning. Until next time, this has been Mezza Online. Bye!